Thanksgiving Is by Gail Gibbons. Thanksgiving is a holiday for giving thanks. In the United States, Thanksgiving is celebrated on the fourth Thursday of November. Thanksgiving is harvest celebrations of long ago. Thousands of years ago, people had celebrations to give thanks for bountiful harvests. Egyptians praised their god Min, the god of plants and fertility. In China, the people honored the moon at harvest time because it appeared to be at its brightest and perfectly round. They baked mooncakes to celebrate a harvest. The Greeks worshipped their goddess of agriculture, Demeter. The Romans' goddess of agriculture was named Ceres. They offered the first foods from their harvest to her as thanks. The ancient Jewish harvest festival called Sukkot was first celebrated thousands of years ago. Jews thanked God for his protection and for their food, as they still do today. During the Middle Ages, farmers in England held festivals to celebrate the end of the harvest. The Middle Ages were from about 450 to about 1450. Thanksgiving is the Pilgrims. In September 1620, a group of 101 passengers sailed from Plymouth, England, in search of a new home. These men, women, and children were called pilgrims. They wanted the freedom to worship in their own way, which they had not been allowed to do. They crossed the Atlantic Ocean on a small ship called the Mayflower. Their voyage was difficult. They sailed through many storms. One passenger died, and a baby was born. At last, after a long voyage, they came ashore at what is now Plymouth, Massachusetts. The Pilgrims began to build homes. Winter came with its cold winds. The Pilgrims had little food to eat. Many of them died. Thanksgiving is Native Americans. When spring finally arrived, the Pilgrims were grateful. Indians taught them how to grow the foods that they themselves ate. Also, they taught the Pilgrims how to be better hunters. Two famous Indians who helped the settlers were Squanto and Massasoit. During the growing season, the crops grew and grew. The fall harvest was plentiful. The Pilgrims wanted to thank God for the abundance of food they would have for the coming winter. Thanksgiving is the first Thanksgiving. There was a great feast. The Indians were invited. It was the Pilgrims' first Thanksgiving, the fall of 1621. The first Thanksgiving lasted 3 days. Thanksgiving is a holiday. In 1863, President Abraham Lincoln proclaimed the last Thursday of November to be Thanksgiving Day. This was the first nationally declared Thanksgiving Day for the United States. Then, in 1939, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt made a change and declared Thanksgiving Day to be the fourth Thursday of November. In Canada, Thanksgiving is celebrated on the second Monday of October. Thanksgiving has many symbols. There are Thanksgiving decorations. In many ways, our Thanksgiving celebrations remind us of the Pilgrims' Thanksgiving. There are pumpkins, turkeys, fall leaves, and other symbols gathered together to look like harvest time. Some homes are decorated. Thanksgiving is family and friends. Family and friends come together to share good times. It is time for loving and sharing. Thanksgiving is a Thanksgiving feast. Tables are filled with many of the same foods the Pilgrims shared with the Indians. There is turkey, stuffing, cranberries, sweet potatoes, beans, squash, cornbread, and other good things to eat. Thanksgiving is Thanksgiving desserts too. There is pumpkin pie, mincemeat pie, bread pudding, baked apples, all kinds of treats. Thanksgiving is giving. Sometimes people send Thanksgiving cards. They may give plants or flowers when they visit others. Thanksgiving is games. Families and friends may play outside or go to a game. Thanksgiving is Thanksgiving plays. There are plays about the Pilgrims and the Indians who helped them. Thanksgiving is parades. There are floats, bands, and big balloons. Thanksgiving is sharing and remembering others. Thanks for watching. Click subscribe. See you later, alligator. Pinkalicious, Thanksgiving Helper by Victoria Can. It was Thanksgiving Day. I could hear Mommy baking in the kitchen and could smell the turkey cooking in the oven. Outside, Daddy was raking big piles of leaves. "Let's go outside," I said to my little brother Peter. "Whee!" we yelled as we jumped into the leaves. Daddy gave me and Peter rakes. "Why don't you help me?" he asked. We raked the leaves into more piles. "Happy Thanksgiving!" I shouted as I leaped into the leaves again. Peter did a cannonball yelling, "Gobble, gobble, gobble." "I think that's enough help from you two," Daddy said. "Maybe you can go inside and help your mom." "Let's pretend it's the first Thanksgiving," I said, putting a pink feather in my hair and a big hat on Peter's head. "You can be Pilgrim Pete, and I will be Princess Pink Feather. This is my wild unicorn, Golden Tail." "Okay," Peter said. "Now what?" "Follow me," I said. Mommy had decorated the living room, and it looked turkey-tastic. Well, almost. The painting hung crookedly on the wall. It was too high for us to reach, so I balanced on Golden Tail. Crunch! Mommy hurried in from the kitchen. "Are you all right? You're not supposed to climb the furniture, Pinkalicious," she said. I felt terrible. "I'm sorry, Mommy. We were just trying to help." "Never mind. I'm sure Daddy can fix it," she said. "I need to run to the store. Pinkalicious, Peter, please remind Daddy to check on the turkey while I'm out. Maybe there's something we can help Mommy with in the kitchen," I said to Peter. "Follow me." I spotted a bag of marshmallows and sweet potatoes ready for mashing. "Look, Pilgrim Pete, Mommy is going to make her marshmallow-licious sweet potato casserole. Let's help her." We looked around for the potato masher, but couldn't find it. "I know," Peter said. He ran out of the kitchen and came back with the badminton rackets. "Who knew helping could be so much fun?" I said as we mashed the potatoes. Clang! Daddy rushed into the kitchen. "Careful," he said. He bent down and picked up the turkey-shaped salt and pepper shakers. "I think I can fix these." I slumped. "We are the worst Thanksgiving helpers in the history of Thanksgiving." "No, you're not. Why don't you set the table while I work on these?" "Pilgrim Pete, let's set the table so it looks just like the first Thanksgiving," I said. "Do you think they had forks and knives?" "I can use my arrowhead for a knife," Peter said. "I know they didn't have light bulbs back then," I said. "We need to find some candles. Didn't Native Americans rub rocks together to light a fire?" "I think so. And they probably used leaves for napkins. I bet they used seashells for cups. We need corn for the table too." "Pilgrim Pete, do you smell that?" We looked at each other. "The turkey!" "Daddy, don't let the turkey burn!" I yelled. Daddy opened the oven and took out the golden brown turkey. It was cooked perfectly. Mommy walked in. The turkey smells good," she said. "You can thank Princess Pinkfeather and Pilgrim Pete for that," Daddy said. "They reminded me just in time." "We also helped set the table," I said. "Come look." "We set it so it looks like the first Thanksgiving," Peter said proudly. Mommy hugged us. "Can I have a feather for my hair too, Princess Pinkfeather?" she asked. "My fire starting technique is a little rusty. Mind if I use matches for the candles instead of these rocks?" asked Daddy as he put on a big hat. We sat down to eat. Peter tried to pierce his peas with the arrowhead. "I'm thankful for forks," he said. Daddy laughed. "I'm thankful for matches." "I'm thankful we don't have to cook a turkey over an open fire," Mommy said. "I'm thankful for cups. These seashells don't hold much apple cider," I said. Peter bit into Mommy's decorative corn. "Blah! I'm thankful for rolls." I'm going to miss our Thanksgiving helpers. Do you think Princess Pinkfeather and Pilgrim Pete can stick around for a while?" Mommy asked. I giggled. "We'll see what we can do. But first, please pass the marshmallow sweet potatoes." Thanks for watching. Click subscribe. See you later, alligator. Payton picks the perfect pie. A Thanksgiving celebration. Story by Jack Bishop. Illustrations by Michelle Me Nutter. Payton is particular, but she's not picky. Grown-ups use that word a lot. Picky, picky, picky. It's never a good thing, and it's not fair. Payton likes dogs and cats, scooters and bikes, pools and beaches. She's not picky. Payton likes to try new things. She learned all about long division in math class. It was hard at first, but now it's fun, like solving a puzzle. Payton just started playing the saxophone. She remembers to practice every day and enjoys it, as long as her dog Mila doesn't howl. And Payton loves sports. Every sport. Payton even likes dodgeball. And who likes dodgeball? But Payton is particular about food. She doesn't like it when two foods touch on her plate. She doesn't like green foods or orange foods or red foods. Payton doesn't like foods that are gooey or gummy, sticky or slimy, frosted or flaky. And she most definitely doesn't like chunky or lumpy foods. But lately, Payton has been thinking a lot about food. Her parents, Penny and Peter, love to cook. They never say it, but Payton wonders if they would like her to be, well, less particular about food. Payton's parents host Thanksgiving each year and ask guests to bring pies. Everyone is always so happy during the holiday, surrounded by people they love and food they enjoy. Not Payton, though. She loves her family, but the food is so green, so lumpy, and so flaky. I'm going to change this year, Payton tells Mila. I'm going to try all the food. Mila gives Payton a quizzical look. Okay, not all the food, says Payton with a shudder, thinking about the lumpy gravy. How about I try one new thing? Payton hears her mother singing as she rolls out pie dough. I'll try pie, Payton exclaims. On Thanksgiving morning, Payton helps her mom weave strips of pie dough into a pretty top. The small holes allow juices from the apples to evaporate, Penny says. That's why my crust is so flaky. Payton tries to pretend she didn't just hear the word flaky. She looks over at her dad. Dad, do you need any help? The first guests are here. It's Uncle Sherwood and Uncle Mark. Payton is excited and a little nervous to see all the different pies. We've brought our famous lemon chess pie, says Uncle Mark. I like checkers better than chess, Payton whispers to Mila. Then she asks her uncles, what does this pie have to do with playing chess? Uncle Sherwood is a history buff. This recipe dates back several hundred years to England. The original name was cheese pie because the yellow filling sets up very firm, like a piece of cheese. Cheese in the pie? Payton is concerned. That sounds both lumpy and sticky. Don't worry, says Uncle Mark reassuringly. There's no cheese in our pie. Just lemon, sugar, cornmeal, butter, and eggs. When the next guest arrives, Payton is in the kitchen. She runs to hug Maria Alvarez, a social studies teacher at Payton's school. Payton, don't crush my ruffled milk pie. Ruffled what? Payton asks her favorite teacher. I first had this pie in Greece, explains Ms. Alvarez. It's made with thin sheets of phyllo dough that are shaped into ruffles. A sweetened egg custard is poured over the phyllo, and the pie is baked until the phyllo is crisp and the custard just wiggles. Oh no, Payton whispers to Mila. A pie that wiggles? And aren't ruffles for dresses? Payton opens the front door to find a crowd on the porch. It's Grandma Pearl, Grandpa Rich, Aunt Mia, Uncle Noah, and Payton's 3 cousins, Jude, Jane, and Jamal. Make room for me and my millionaire pie, says Grandma Pearl. Payton asks her grandmother, do I get extra allowance if I try a piece? Don't be silly, Payton, but this pineapple pie does taste like $1,000,000. Don't tell your parents, she adds, but I bought my pie at the bakery for $10. What a deal! There's a knock at the back door. Payton and Mila run to greet the next door neighbors. Bonjour, Payton, says Mrs. Macaron. Please take my plum galette. Galette? Asks Payton. Oui, Payton, exclaims Madeline, who is in Payton's grade. A galette is a rustic French tart. You arrange sliced plums on the dough, fold over the edges and bake, and voila! Don't forget the candied violets, adds Mr. Macaron, or your mother's cinnamon whipped cream. Payton looks over to Mila and says, flowers made into candies? Whipped cream with cinnamon? Finding a plain pie is going to be harder than I thought. Cousins Rachel and Russell from New York have brought Boston cream pie. Payton is confused. They aren't from Boston, and their pie looks like a cake. Aunt Grace has a tray of whoopie pies. They look like chocolate flying saucers, held together by creamy white filling. Payton likes the name, and she likes chocolate, but she wonders, is it cheating to try a pie that looks like a gigantic cookie? The Patels from across town arrive with Mississippi mud pie. Payton can finally spell Mississippi correctly, but mud doesn't sound good. Payton hears a honk on the street. It's the Lees and their twin baby girls. They have brought 2 pies, pumpkin pecan and cranberry pear. These pies sound twice as fancy and twice as scary, Payton thinks. Payton goes back into the kitchen. Maybe her parents can offer some advice about choosing the right pie. But Payton's parents are very busy. Payton's dad asks her to carry some dishes to the table and then turns to Penny. We're missing someone. Where is your sister? Polly texted to say she's running late. An ice storm in Denver meant her plane was diverted to Dallas. Polly said to start without her. At the table, Payton takes 2 slices of turkey, white meat, of course, and no skin. And no thanks to the lumpy gravy. A fluffy roll sits next to, but not touching, the turkey. She adds a tidy scoop of mashed potatoes. Penny gently clinks a fork against the side of her glass, and the guests quiet down. Peter, Payton, and I are so grateful that you all could share this special day with us. We celebrate with food, but having you all around our table is the real treat. It's finally pie time. There are big ones and small ones, tall ones and short ones, red ones and yellow ones, and is that even a green one? Payton has never seen so many pies. But one thing they all have in common, Payton thinks, is that they're kind of lumpy and maybe a little bit sticky or flaky. I'm not sure I can do this, Payton confides to Mila. Just then, the doorbell rings. Aunt Polly strides into the house holding 2 large frosty containers. I didn't bake pie, she calls out laughing. I brought something even better, ice cream. I didn't know you could put ice cream on pie, Payton says. Of course you can, Polly says. It's called pie a la mode. The truth is, pie is just okay, but add ice cream and pie is divine. Payton is suddenly feeling braver. She likes ice cream, particularly vanilla ice cream. Payton takes a bite of her mom's apple pie. The pie is a little lumpy and a little flaky, but it doesn't seem as scary. Payton takes another bite, then another. I thought I didn't like pie, but I guess I do. Sometimes when we think we don't like something, we just have to look at it in a different way, says her wise aunt. If all else fails, just add ice cream. I like your apple pie, Mom, says Payton. Penny looks surprised. Happy, but surprised. Payton thinks for a moment and asks, Can I try another pie? I'm so proud of you, Payton. Which pie do you want? Chess pie, please. And do you think Uncle Sherwood might teach me some chess moves? Maybe I would like chess if I gave it another try. Peter raises his glass and clinks it with a fork. Here's to pie, especially pie a la mode. Thanks for watching. Click subscribe. See you later, alligator. A Thanksgiving comedy, Turk and Runt. Story by Lisa Wheeler. Pictures by Frank Ansley. Turk's parents were so proud of him. He was the biggest, strongest, and most graceful bird on Wishbone Farm. He's a dancer, said his mother. He's an athlete, said his father. He's a goner, said his brother Runt, but no one ever listened to Runt. Every year, the farm animals looked forward to the excitement of autumn. Carloads of people came to pick red, ripe apples from the orchard in September. Folks arrived to choose plump orange pumpkins from the field in October. And come November, it was turkey time. One by one, the fattest, roundest turkeys were chosen. Chosen for what? Asked Turk. To be the lead dancer in Swan Lake, said his mother. To play in the Thanksgiving Day football game, said his father. To be roasted and gently basted, said his brother Runt. But no one ever listened to Runt. So every morning in November, the family watched Turk practice his dance steps. 1, 2, 3, lift. And every afternoon, the family watched Turk practice his football moves. 16, 23, 47, hike. He's getting stronger, said his mother. He's getting bigger, said his father. He's getting juicier, said Runt. 2 days before Thanksgiving, Madame Waddell, the famous ballet instructor, arrived at Wishbone Farm. She came to choose a turkey. An audition! Mother squealed. It's your time to shine. Go out there and shake those tail feathers. Turk gracefully danced to the front of the barnyard. He leaped. He spun. He twirled and whirled. He did a triple somersault and landed in a split. Look at the size of those drumsticks, said Madame Waddell. That is a beautiful bird. Mother beamed. Father puffed out his feathers with pride. Runt puffed out his feathers too. Then he threw himself on the ground. He flapped, he flopped, he hissed and sputtered. He gobbled like a maniac as he chased Madame Waddell out of the barnyard. Sacre bleu! Screamed Madame Waddell. These birds are crazy! Then she drove far, far away from Wishbone Farm. No Swan Lake, cried Mother. No starring roll, cried Father. No roasted turk with chestnut dressing, cried Runt. Hooray! But no one ever listened to Runt. The day before Thanksgiving, Coach Giblet of the Crow City Corn Shuckers came to pick out a turkey. This is your big chance, said Father. Get out there and strut your stuff. Turk sprinted to the front of the barnyard. He bobbed, he weaved, he tackled and dived. He mowed down every turkey who got in his way. That's one healthy-looking bird, said Coach Giblet. Only the biggest and the best for my team. Father grinned proudly. Mother got tears in her eyes. Runt got tears in his eyes too. Then his beak began to drip. He coughed. He wheezed. He sniffled and sneezed. He fell to the ground in a hacking fit of quivering feathers. Good gravy, shouted the coach as he hopped back onto the team bus. These are very sick birds. The corn shuckers deserve better. Then he sped far, far away from Wishbone Farm. No football contract, cried Father. No TV commercials, cried Mother. No Turk sandwich with cranberry sauce, cried Runt. Hooray! But no one ever listened to Runt. It was Thanksgiving morning. Turk's family heard the put-put-put of a little old car. Out of the car climbed a little old lady. Maybe she's a little old talent scout, said Father. Maybe she's a little old dance instructor, said Mother. I hope she's a little old vegetarian, said Runt. Father and Mother pushed Turk to the front of the barnyard. Show her what you've got. But before Turk could perform even one pirouette, the little old lady scooted him aside. Aha! She exclaimed, pointing at Runt. Exactly what I've been looking for. This bird is just the right size for me. What? Cried Mother. Him? Cried Father. Help! Cried Runt. But no one ever listened to Runt. So he ran. He ran behind Father. Don't let her eat me! He ran behind Mother. Hide me! Hide me! He ran behind Turk. I'm too young to be basted. Turk saw the look in the little old lady's eyes. He saw the drool on her lips. He saw the fork in the little old lady's pocket. He saw the roasting pan in her back seat. Runt had been right all along. Work with me, Runt, Turk instructed, or your goose is cooked. Turk bobbed and weaved. Runt flapped and drooled. Turk leaped and twirled. Runt coughed and wheezed. Runt gobbled like a maniac while Turk dived down and tackled the little old lady's shoes. Stuff and nonsense! Cried the little old lady, climbing back into her car. I wouldn't eat these birds if they were the last turkeys on earth. That day, as the family feasted on corn and alfalfa, they had much to be thankful for. I'm thankful we're all together, said Mother. I'm thankful for 2 brave sons, said Father. I'm thankful for such a smart brother, said Turk. We're not out of the woods yet, Runt warned. Come December, folks begin planning their holiday dinners. Dinners that include stuffing? Asked Mother. Dinners that include gravy? Asked Father. Dinners that include me? Asked Turk. Over my feathered body, Runt said. We're not plucked yet. I have a grade A plan. And this time, everyone listened to Runt. Thanks for watching. Click subscribe. See you later, alligator. Gracias, the Thanksgiving Turkey by Joy Cowley, illustrated by Joe Cepeda. My dad sent me a present, Miguel told everyone at school. I'm going with my grandmother to the train station to pick it up. That's exciting, Miguel, said his teacher. Do you know what it is? Maybe rollerblades. Maybe a baseball glove, said Miguel. It's from my dad, so it'll be something really good. Miguel's best friend, Clarine, said, You know about Miguel's dad. He has a big red and silver truck with 18 wheels, and he drives across the country in it. Abuela and Tia Rosa went to the train station with Miguel. There was a large box with holes in it. Through one of the holes poked a head with a beak and eyes. It's a bird, cried Miguel. On top of the box was a message. Fatten this turkey for Thanksgiving. I'll be home to share it with you. Love from Papa. When Miguel's grandfather saw the turkey, he said, Where can we put a turkey? A New York City apartment is not a farm. Que problema, said Tia Rosa. That brother of mine is loco. Miguel said, I love my turkey. I'm going to call her Gracias. In the end, Abuelo said Miguel could keep the turkey, but she must have a house. Venga, we will make her a cage in the backyard where she can talk to the pigeons. At the library, Miguel found a book about turkeys. he read that turkeys were grazers. They like grain, but they also ate green plants. Clarine and Miguel went to Central Park. They talked to the park ranger, and he gave them sacks of cut grass. Mr. and Mrs. Chatterjee saved old lettuces and cabbages from their store. Soon the whole neighborhood knew about Gracias. "Hi, Clarine. Hi, Miguel," said Police Officer Devereaux. "Is that turkey getting fat?" "Yes, ma'am," said Miguel. "When she gets too big for your oven, give her to me," said Officer Devereaux. "I've got a bigger oven." As Gracias grew, she became Miguel's amiga. She made a gobble-gobble noise every time she saw Miguel, and she ate from his hand. Abuela told Miguel, "You can take Gracias out of her cage as long as you clean up after her." Miguel wanted to take his turkey out for a walk in the street. Abuelo made a ring to fit on the bird's leg, and he tied a cord to that ring. "Now she will not fly into someone's oven," Abuelo said. Miguel worried when there was talk about ovens. He wrote to Papa, "Can we get another turkey for Thanksgiving? One that is dead already?" But there was no reply. At church, Miguel lit 2 candles, one for his father and one for Gracias. "Please, Señor," he prayed, "keep them safe." Tia Rosa also lit a candle. "Pobre niño," she said. The leaves fell from the trees. The weather grew cold. Abuela made a cover for the cage. "Why bother?" said Abuelo. "It is nearly Thanksgiving." "People shouldn't eat pets," said Miguel. "She's a turkey," said Abuela. "That's what turkeys are for." "We're amigos," cried Miguel. "I love her." "I told you it would be a problem," said Tia Rosa. On Saturday afternoon, Clarine came over to watch football with Miguel. Suddenly, there was a noise, louder than the television. Miguel jumped up. "Gracias!" The kids ran outside. The cage was empty. A boy was running down the street, the big turkey flapping under his arm. "Gracias!" yelled Miguel. "You bring that turkey back!" shouted Clarine. Everyone helped Miguel and Clarine look for Gracias, but no one could find as much as a feather. Mrs. Chatterjee said, "How could someone steal your turkey? That's terrible." "No worries," said Mr. Chatterjee. "I have frozen turkeys in the shop. I give you one for free." Miguel shook his head and began to cry. "Let's go home," said Clarine, holding his hand. That night, there was a knock on the door. Officer Devereaux held a bag that shook and went gobble gobble. "Gracias!" yelled Miguel. "I found this turkey in a no parking zone," said Officer Devereaux. "I had to arrest her." Miguel took Gracias and hugged her. Officer Devereaux said, "If I were you, I wouldn't leave a fat turkey in your yard. This time she got away. Next time she's gravy." "Yes, ma'am," said Miguel. Abuela said Gracias could stay in the bathroom. "You have to clean out her cage every day." Abuelo said, "I have to shower with a turkey? Ay, ay, ay." Miguel moved the cage to the bathroom and put a holy medal in it. "So nothing bad happens to you, mi amiga," he said. The next morning, Miguel was playing outside with Gracias when it was time to go to Mass. "Get your jacket," said Abuela. "I will put the bird away. Hurry, hurry, we'll be late for La Misa." But in the rush, Abuela forgot about Gracias. Padre Jamie was saying prayers when there was a gobble, gobble, gobble in the aisle. Gracias was looking for Miguel. Everyone laughed. Miguel was very embarrassed. He left the pew and picked up Gracias. Padre Jamie said, "Is this your turkey, Miguel?" "Sí, Padre," said Miguel. "Lo siento, Padre. She must have followed me." Padre Jamie smiled. "God made small boys and God made turkeys. Stand still while I give you both a blessing." When they got home, Abuelo laughed and ruffled Miguel's hair. "Chicken for Thanksgiving dinner," he said. "Chicken?" said Miguel. Abuela said, "No one can kill a turkey that's been blessed." "You think Papa will like to eat chicken?" Miguel asked. "If he is here," said Tia Rosa. Abuela looked at Tia Rosa. "See, he will like the chicken," she said. The Thanksgiving Day parade had brass bands and balloons as big as houses. Miguel sat on Abuelo's shoulders so that he could see everything, and some clowns on stilts threw confetti over him. "Did Papa like parades when he was as big as me?" he asked Abuelo. "Sure, Rosita too. I had one of them on each shoulder," Abuelo told Miguel. The apartment was filled with the fragrant smells of chicken and cornbread. Abuela brought out the salsa. "Please, can we wait some more?" Miguel asked. "We have waited 2 hours already, hijo," she said. The family sat down and watched Abuelo carve the chicken and bless the food. Abuela lifted her glass. "I am glad for this food. I'm glad for this family. I'm glad for this neighborhood and for this country." "Bravo, Mama!" cried Tia Rosa. Miguel lifted his glass of milk. "I am glad for Papa, and I am glad for Gracias." Abuelo said, "Where is that bird?" He left the room and returned with Gracias. Abuelo put Gracias on the chair next to Miguel and set a plate of cornbread in front of her. Gracias ate from the dish. Peck, peck, peck. "Now we have turkey for dinner," Abuelo laughed. "We talked to some people at a petting zoo," Abuela said to Miguel. "They will make a home for Gracias." "A zoo?" said Miguel. "You can visit her every week," said Abuela. "And I will not have to brush my teeth with feathers," Abuelo said. After dinner, Miguel sat on the floor and put Gracias in his lap. "Zoo turkeys don't get eaten," he told Gracias. He yawned. His stomach was full of chicken and cornbread, and he felt sleepy. "I'd get to see you every Saturday," he said. Miguel yawned again. His eyes were closing. Toot, toot, toot. Gracias flew up squawking in fright. Toot! Miguel ran to the window. Parked outside was his father's big red and silver truck. Papa was home. Thanks for watching. Click subscribe. See you later, alligator. Turkey Trouble by Wendy Silvano. Illustrated by Lee Harper. Turkey was in trouble. Bad trouble. The kind of trouble where it's almost Thanksgiving and you're the main course." But Turkey had an idea. What if he didn't look like a turkey? What if he looked like a horse? Surely Farmer Jake wouldn't eat a horse for Thanksgiving. His costume wasn't bad. In fact, Turkey looked just like a horse. Almost. "Moo," said Cow. "Stop horsing around, Turkey." "How'd you know it was me?" moaned Turkey. "Too short," said Cow. "Gobble, gobble," grumbled Turkey. But looking at Cow gave Turkey a new idea. Surely Farmer Jake wouldn't eat a cow for Thanksgiving. His costume wasn't bad. In fact, Turkey looked just like a cow. Almost. "Oink, oink, oink," snorted Pig. "Holy cow, is that you, Turkey?" "How'd you know it was me?" groaned Turkey. "Too skinny," said Pig. "Gobble, gobble," grumbled Turkey. But looking at Pig gave Turkey a new idea. Surely Farmer Jake wouldn't eat a pig for Thanksgiving. His costume wasn't bad. In fact, Turkey looked just like a pig. Almost. "Baa, baa," bleated Sheep. "Quit being a ham, Turkey." "How'd you know it was me?" wailed Turkey. "Too clean," said Sheep. "Gobble, gobble," grumbled Turkey. But looking at Sheep gave Turkey a new idea. Surely Farmer Jake wouldn't eat a sheep for Thanksgiving. His costume wasn't bad. In fact, Turkey looked just like a sheep. Almost. "Cock-a-doodle-doo," crowed Rooster. "Bad idea, Turkey." "How'd you know it was me?" howled Turkey. "Too brown," squawked Rooster. "Gobble, gobble," grumbled Turkey. But looking at Rooster gave Turkey a new idea. In fact, it was his best idea yet. He already looked a lot like Rooster. This costume would be easy. Surely Farmer Jake wouldn't eat a rooster for Thanksgiving. Or would he? Rooster might be his next choice, Turkey worried, since roosters and turkeys look so much alike. Oh, gobble, gobble! Farmer Jake came into the barn. "Turkey, turkey, turkey! Come out, wherever you are." "Where's the turkey?" asked Farmer Jake's wife. "I don't know," he said. "I looked everywhere. Oh dear, what will we do without a turkey for Thanksgiving?" "Well, we could always eat the rooster, I guess." "Oh no, not Rooster," thought Turkey. He looked around desperately for one more idea. Then he found it. His costume wasn't bad. In fact, it was Turkey's best yet. Ding dong! Happy Thanksgiving! "Did you order a pizza?" asked Farmer Jake's wife. "Nope," he said, "but it's a good idea." So they all sat down and gobbled up the pizza. and it was Turkey's best Thanksgiving ever. Thanks for watching. Click subscribe. See you later, alligator. 'Twas the night before Thanksgiving. Story and pictures by Dave Pilkey. 'Twas the day before Thanksgiving, and all through the trees the fall leaves were spinning aloft in the breeze. 8 children had boarded their school bus with grins in hopes that a field trip soon would begin. They sang as they rode through autumn terrains, while visions of drumsticks danced in their brains. Over the rivers, through the woods, with winding and weaves, their school bus sailed on through the new fallen leaves. When out on the road there arose such a clatter, they threw down their windows to see what was the matter. When what with their wondering eyes should they see but a miniature farm and 8 tiny turkey, and a little old man so lively and rugged they knew in a moment it was Farmer McNugget. And then in a twinkling they heard in the straw the prancing and pawing of each little claw. More rapid than chickens, his cockerels they came. He whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Ollie, now Stanley, now Larry and Moe, on Wally, on Beaver, on Shemp and Groucho. The turkeys were chunky with smiley beaked faces, and they greeted the children with downy embraces. So out through the barnyard they ran and they flew, and they gobbled and giggled as friends sometimes do. Then somebody spotted an axe by the door, and she asked Farmer Nugget what it was for. With a blink of his eye and a twist of his head, the old farmer told a grim tale of dread. "Tonight," said McNugget, "these feathery beasts will be chopped up and roasted for Thanksgiving feasts." The children stood still as tears filled their eyes. Then they clamored aloud in a chorus of cries. "Oh dear," cried McNugget, "now what shall I do?" So he dashed to the well, and the teacher went too. And they fetched some water fresh from the ground, in hopes that a swig might calm everyone down. And when they returned, to quiet the matter, the children were calmer and mysteriously fatter. The boys and girls drank up their drinks in the hay, then thanked old McNugget and waddled away. They limped to the school bus, all huffing and puffing. It's not easy to walk with hot turkey stuffing. And then, as the school bus drove off in the night, McNugget looked round, not a turkey in sight. 'Twas the night before Thanksgiving, and the stars up above shone down on a school bus abounding with love. The very next evening, 8 families were blessed with 8 fluffy Thanksgiving turkeys as guests. They feasted on veggies with jelly and toast, and everyone was thankful. The turkeys were most. So each one gave thanks for love and for living, and they all had a wonderful, happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for watching. Click subscribe. See you later, alligator. Run, Turkey, Run by Diane Mayer, illustrated by Laura Rader. Turkey is having a terrible day. It's the day before Thanksgiving, but Turkey won't be giving thanks, not unless he manages to escape. Run, Turkey, run! Clumpity clomp, here comes the farmer. Oh, see the pig pen? If Turkey rolls in the mud, will the farmer think he's a pig? No! Run, Turkey, run! Muckety muck, here comes the farmer. Look, the duck pond. If Turkey swims in the water, will the farmer think he's a duck? No! Run, Turkey, run! Splashity splash, here comes the farmer. Here's the place, the horse barn. If Turkey sticks his head in the feed bucket, will the farmer think he's a horse? No! Run, Turkey, run! Clinkety clink, here comes the farmer. Turkey can't fool the farmer. He knows his animals. What's Turkey to do? Run from the farmyard. Run, Turkey, run! Crunchity crunch, here comes the farmer. Trees. If Turkey covers himself with branches, will the farmer think he's a tree? Maybe. The farmer doesn't see him. Can it be? Is Turkey safe at last? Yes! Thanksgiving Day comes. The farmer and his family eat peas, mashed potatoes, and grilled cheese sandwiches. Turkey gives thanks. Thanksgiving Day goes. The farmer and his family are picking out their Christmas tree. Run, Turkey, run! Thanks for watching. Click subscribe. See you later, alligator.